y'all, welcome back to another week of exercise education brought to you by Healthy Huntsville and Huntsville Hospital. This week we're at the City of Huntsville's Showers Recreation Center. It's free for all members of the community to use, as are all of the city's recreation centers. And today we're going to be talking about resistance training. So we talked about cardio training, and now we're going to talk about another way to fill that working portion of your workout. So a resistance exercise is any exercise that's causing muscle contraction in opposition to an external force of resistance. So generally that's weight training that we're talking about. There's two really important things to remember when you're starting out with weight training. Number one is that you always want to be maintaining proper form, and number two is you want to avoid lifting weights that are too heavy for the level that you're at. So to maintain proper form, you want to make sure that you have a strong core and that you engage your core to support your low back through every exercise so that you don't start to engage your spine in the exercise. You also want to be near props such as weight benches or a wall to stabilize yourself, to provide balance, and to prevent you from needing to engage other parts of your body in an exercise that's supposed to be isolated. When you're deciding on a weight to use for your first few weight training sessions, you want to start lighter than you think you need and learn how to find that control and muscle isolation. When you can effectively complete 12 to 15 repetitions of an exercise with control, that's when you can start to increase your weight. All right, so we're gonna go over a couple of examples of what some easy beginner weight training exercises can look like. Again, make sure that you're starting with a very manageable weight. Even if it feels a little bit too light, that's fine. You wanna make sure that you have core control and muscle isolation control before you ever start to increase your weight. So we're gonna start with a basic bicep curl. So you're gonna grab weights. I have 8 pounds in my hands right now because I don't wanna be using my legs or my hips to throw the weight up. So nice and controlled, roll the shoulders back and down. You're just gonna curl all the way up, all the way down, and you're isolating through that bicep muscle. And I'd recommend 12 to 15 reps and maybe about 3 sets depending on how you're feeling that day. Another really good exercise to work on for upper body engages your shoulders, really engage the core here, stay nice and stable through your whole body, and then we're lifting, slight pause at the top, engage the shoulders and come down. Again, lift and release. Generally, you're gonna be exhaling during the exerting part of the exercise, inhaling on the resting portion. You give yourself power through the exhale. One last good upper body exercise is just an overhead press using dumbbells. The reason it's really beneficial to start with dumbbells and not a barbell is because you even out the weight in each of your hands and your dominant arm doesn't take over. So for your basic overhead press, you're gonna come all the way up and drop down to 90 degrees. When you come here, you're squeezing across the back so you get a little bit of engagement between the shoulder blades, and then you lift. I want you to imagine there's a pencil between your shoulder blades back here so you're nice and strong all the way through that exercise. And then I'm gonna show you one basic leg exercise that's a really good one to start with, but it's not accessible to everyone. If you do struggle with knee pain or any type of joint discomfort in your legs, make sure that you're not overdoing it or going past a 90-degree angle to a point where it is painful to come up from your squat. So I like to take one weight, maybe you'd increase the weight in your hands if you're comfortable with that. You're gonna stand slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Many people, including myself, find it comfortable to point slightly outward with the toes. You're gonna bring the weight in towards the chest, sink the weight into your heels, lower down, making sure that you're not pointing the knees over the toes, neutral spine, and then you press through the heels and lift. And you wanna squeeze the glutes at the top. So again, lower down, careful of the knees, exhale to lift and squeeze the glutes. So those are 4 really good exercises to get you started with your resistance training. And from there, the sky is the limit. Just make sure you don't push yourself past the point of discomfort.